Hi guys. Oh my god, I gotta cringe a little every time I press record. This is my baby Lucy. I don't know if y'all can see. I don't have a microphone because I got a new phone, and the microphone is only compatible with the old iPhone. So today's video, let's be realistic, y'all. Let's be realistic. I was gonna make a podcast in this time in history that we are in, and you think I wasn't about to make a video about Palestine? Bitch, be so for real. I'm surprised the first video wasn't about Palestine. Anyways.
Before the video starts, I wanted to say that I never plan out how I'm going to make my videos or notes on what I'm going to say. Every video is off the top of my head, but I do still know what I'm talking about because I make sure to be educated on the topic before I speak on it. I make the videos in this way because for my first episode, I actually did plan out and have notes of what I was going to say, and I didn't like how it came out. So I actually redid it. So that's why it might seem like I take my time to say certain things.
Okay. So this video is going to be about Palestine. It's going to be like a more simplified version. And before y'all think that I'm not someone who educates myself or just goes off of what I see on TikTok, no, bitch. I do my research. I have watched videos simplifying it for me because I am aware that it's an ongoing thing. Like, this is not something new that they're dealing with. It just got worse.
The way that the situation got worse is that the murders of the Palestinian people increased a shit ton since October 7th. And here is a statistic from the CSIS. I don't know if I said that right, but it's a very credible source. They're very well funded, and they don't just have people who are left-leaning working for them. So, you know, it's not a biased organization. It's people from all types of backgrounds and different beliefs.
You know, it was still something that they could still live in certain areas that weren't getting bombed, and now it's just a genocide. They're just trying to get rid of them. The fuck? Goddamn.
So I'm gonna explain what happened October 7th. October 7th, Hamas attacked Israel, and it was one of the deadliest attacks. And basically, since then, Israel has increasingly murdered a shit ton of Palestinian people, children, kids, women, all of that.
Hamas is a group that started in resistance to what Israel was doing to them. But eventually, Hamas started to resist in violent ways in attacking Israel and kidnapping Israel people. Basically, a genocide is going on. What's a genocide? I'll put the definition somewhere. But a genocide is basically erasing a certain race or group of people. I don't know why, but I just know is that.
I know that it might seem like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I swear to God, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm very educated on the every topic I talk about, or I wouldn't be talking about it. And if I knew I didn't know that much about it, I'm doing my research before I speak on something. I just don't know how to word things sometimes, and especially for this video, I was hella fucking nervous, y'all, because I was really scared to say something wrong. I know I go back and edit everything right and like take out stuff or explain stuff that might be taken in the wrong way, but it's still something that made me very, very nervous because I was really not trying to offend Jewish people. I wasn't trying to offend Israeli people or Palestinian people. So it's a topic that's very hard to talk about, and you just really gotta watch what you say.
Just from that alone, that should turn something in your head to be like, what the actual fuck? Basically, Palestine is a place it's a state. It is recognized as a state, right? And throughout history, there has been fight over the land of Palestine. But currently, the people who is fighting for the land is Israel. And they are bombing the shit out of them, not giving them resources, aid, none of that. It's really upsetting to see. I have no words for it.
Okay, so here's a map of Palestine. Technically, everything in the purple and green is Palestine. And that is really crazy to think that Israel is more than half of Palestine now. There is the West Bank and Gaza They're both Palestine. The entire thing is Palestine, but they separated it and gave Palestinians 2 pieces of the land, I guess. Also, Gaza has a wall around it, y'all. A wall around it to quote unquote control the people moving around. It sounds awfully fucking familiar. Awfully familiar, huh? Do I gotta say, like, come on now.
No land belongs to anyone. Land does not belong to anyone. Matter of fact, we are a part of the earth. We are one with the earth. We are one with each other. We do not own the earth. The earth owns us. Because when we die, where do we go? Back to the earth. The earth swallows us. Okay? It's the other way around. But I can agree that if a group of people were there first and then that's their fucking home, that's where they worked so hard to build their home, their culture, everything. They have all these memorial sites where big events have happened for their group of people, where they have all these statues, they have a lot of things. That's where their ancestors are fucking buried. Generations of their group of people are there, and there's signs everywhere that they were there. And you fucking come, not only just try to destroy their land, take away their humanity, and try to get rid of them because you think the land now belongs to you. You know what Israel's giving? You know what Israel? Where have we seen this before? It's almost like we've seen this before. It's almost like we've seen this before. You know what Israel is giving? It's giving Christopher Columbus. It's giving Christopher, like, for real, that's what it's giving. Basically, the reason why Israel even came to Palestine to begin with is because most people from Israel are Jewish, and we all know about the Holocaust and what happened with that, right? Okay. Jewish people, they didn't really ever have a home or a place to go, so they started going to where they are now, right? I'm gonna play with my dog while I talk, because they didn't have nowhere to go because the countries surrounding them or states did not fucking respect them as human beings, so they flee where they are now. And I 100% agree that Jewish people or people who are from Israel deserve a place to call home. They definitely do. But it's really hypocritical when people who are from Israel and are Jewish, which most people are, not all of them, keep that in mind, not all Israeli people are Jewish. Keep that in mind, please, for later. It's really hypocritical if you're Jewish and Israeli to fucking sit up here and essentially go and fucking do what was done to your community to another community. It is beyond me. I'm a lost of a bitch who always got a lot to say is at a loss of words. I don't understand. Why does your empathy stop at your own community? Why cannot extend to other groups of people? I don't fucking understand. It's really not working for my brain right now. Israel controls everything that comes in and out of Palestine and Gaza. So any aid that wants to come, any of our donations, they are not allowing it. You can't donate. I unfortunately donated to fucking for the aid to go to Gaza. Like, I donated to a foundation that did that, and I didn't know that the aid was not being allowed to go. There is a how do you call it, a foundation you can donate, and they give the money to Palestinians who have escaped Gaza. So I'm gonna try to find that link and put it in the bio. Oh, I'm gonna also link my link tree in my description. That's gonna have a lot of other, not just Palestine, it's gonna have a lot of other countries that you can donate to or sign petitions for, stuff like that. Or there's gonna be videos where you can educate yourself on certain topics. Please go look at that. When you look at videos of Palestine, it literally looks like out of a fucking movie. Like, it just, their buildings are gray from the fucking dust, from the rubble. It just looks just destroyed. There's no people, there's no animals, there's no plants. It just looks like an abandoned town, abandoned place. It looks like a movie set. And it's so heartbreaking to see, because to know that it in fact is not a movie set, and it in fact did have pets, it did have people, it did have plants, it did have people, it did have animals who lived there. It was a place that flourished before this happened. That is fucking heartbreaking. That is fucking heartbreaking. Some Israel people, they feel bad for Palestine, but they don't think that they're responsible for what's happening. They believe that it's all Hamas's fault. The Israel government and the Israeli people have used Hamas as an excuse to constantly bomb Palestine, and they are calling it, the amount of people and casualties that they have caused, collateral damage.
All I'm gonna say for this fucking part is I'm gonna insert this fucking clip of Representative AOC, and she says basically what I fucking think.
And when I think about this threshold that we've passed in Gaza, 4,000 children, 10,000 innocent, and the attempts for people to call this quote unquote collateral damage, how unconscionable a term, collateral damage, to sanitize an atrocity, to make it more palatable for mass consumption, collateral damage. We can never accept such a term.
Yes, that's right.
The killing of children, the killing of innocent people will never be collateral damage. It is the damage. It is the damage.
And that every place that they have bombed, it was because Hamas was there. There is an article published by the New York Times. If you're from the United States, you know that the New York Times, it is a very credible, respected news outlet, and they have the best journalists. The New York Times reported December 2nd, 2023. Israel knew Hamas attack plan more than a year ago. Oh my god, they knew more than a year ago, which means they let the attack happen. They could have taken big precautions, even if the attack was going to happen, to stop it or to keep their people safe. And they allowed it to fucking happen. And every time that they have bombed a place that they claimed Hamas was there, the Hamas leaders don't even live in Palestine. You're gonna bomb a whole hospital and say it's because Hamas was in the hospital. You're gonna kill babies, premature babies, pregnant women, women in birth, sick people, injured people because of you. Because Hamas was in the building. And then there has been videos. Okay, let's say that's the truth, right? There has been videos where it showed that Israel is capable of only bombing one section of the building and not causing damage to the whole building. So that means they are doing this shit purposely. They're just doing it. They're doing it purposely. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They don't view Palestinian people as humans. And they don't have empathy for them. They're making every fucking excuse possible to justify their actions, and they know they're in the wrong. They know they're in the wrong. They understand they're in the wrong. Why? Because their people has gone through a genocide too. Remember when I said that the majority of Israeli people are Jewish, but not all of them? Because being Jewish is a religion.
You can also be of Jewish descent, but even then, still, every person in Israel is not Jewish.
There's a lot of people that claim if you speak out against what Israel is doing, you are anti-Semitic. But that doesn't make sense, because for you to be anti-Semitic, that would mean that every person who is from Israel is Jewish. But that's not the case. The Israeli government is doing this out of pure ego and pride. It's not a fucking war, it's a genocide. There's people that are calling it a war. It's not a war, it's a fucking genocide. They're trying to erase the Palestinian people so they can take hold of the fucking land. Under Palestine and off the coast of Palestine, there is oil. We have seen this an infinite amount of times where the United States disables a Middle Eastern country because of the resources that are in that country. It's giving. The United States knows the oil is there, and that's why they are funding the Israel military. So basically, they are only funding the Israel military so Israel can do their dirty work, so they can get to the oil. If you watch Black Panther, any of the movies, a constant part of the plot, a constant part of the storyline is vibranium. Vibranium is a resource that Wakandians have, and they protected that resource so much they didn't let the outside world know that they had such a resource because they knew the threats that would bring to Wakanda. Do you think that they got that shit out of their ass? Do you think that the creators of the movie, when they were writing down the storyline, they just pulled that shit out of their ass? No. This is a reoccurring issue in Africa, in the Middle East, and literally any fucking country that has a good resource, and the people who live there are people of color. The fucking United States goes there, destabilizes the country, and gets all the fucking resources. I didn't mean for this video to become a whole conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory, especially if it's facts. if the facts are there, you just gotta connect the dots. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just right in front of you. You just gotta open your eyes. That's not my fucking point of this video at all. It's just to show y'all that to look more into the United States motives and intentions when they do shit, when they're supporting a country. Matter of fact, whenever the United States is supporting a country, do the opposite. Support the country they don't support. 9 times out of 10, the United States is in the wrong and supporting the wrong side, as they always are. They are always in the wrong side of fucking history. Don't be like the United States. Be on the right side. You pick what side you're gonna be on. And that leads me to my next point. Unless you don't use social media at all and don't watch the news. Matter of fact, unless you don't socialize at all, unless that's what you do, you haven't heard about Palestine. But if you hear, oh, there's a war going on and these people are getting bombed the shit out of their homeland and they're losing their lives and their homeland is fucking disappearing. If you heard that and that didn't make you go, oh, I at least feel a little bad that these people are in war, or let me research what's going on in this country because a whole war is happening, and let me see what is going on and how I can help you. I worry for you. Where's your empathy? And if you wanted to learn about it, here's this video. It's simplified for you. I watched how long was the video? I think it was like a 3 minutes video. A simplified version of the situation. 3-minute video. You don't have to fucking go on a whole fucking deep dive of the situation to understand that these people are going through a genocide and they need as much awareness to them as possible. And if you don't care for them, which is fucking insane that I'm saying, right now it's the Palestinian people going through this. What happens when it's a country in Central America? Or a country in Africa? Or a country in Asia? What happens when it's one of those countries? What happens when it's Mexico or El Salvador? What happens then? What happens then? Because if we let this slide, if we let it happen, if we don't bring awareness to it, if we turn a blind eye, not just Israel themselves, the Israel government themselves, other countries are going to take note and they're going to think, oh, they let our citizens, they're not giving a shit about this. They don't give a fuck. We can do this more often. Oh, here's this country. There's a group of people on this land. I want the land. Remember what the Israel government did to Palestine? Yeah, let's do that to them. People didn't care when we did it the first time. Or when it happened the first time. Do you get what I'm saying? We're not standing up for these people. What happens when it's us next? If it was you in that spot, and 9 times out of 10, if you're a person of color, if you're not white, if you're not a white person, it has happened to your country. Something similar has happened to your country. And I bet you if that was happening, what happened when whatever it is that happened in your history of your country, or if that same situation happened now to your country, you would be screaming for help. Even if you didn't live in your home country, you would be screaming for help. You would want as much people as possible talking about it, as much people as possible sharing videos. You would want that empathy. Like I said before, all it fucking takes to understand, not even just understand these topics, but to stand up for someone is empathy. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about what you can do to help. The easiest thing, hands down, that you can do is boycott. You can boycott Starbucks. Yes, bitch. That means that fucking drink you drink 3 times a fucking week. And I'm talking about myself when I say that too. I used to drink Starbucks every Friday. Every Friday. I was addicted to them lattes. And I was able to stop going. I have completely stopped going. I have not gone. You don't have to boycott every damn company, because I know it's hard to find alternatives. Like, I understand that, but at least boycott one company, 1 or 2. At least that's the least you can do. And by not boycotting a company, you're upholding white supremacy.
I know that was an insane sentence to say, but it's the truth. Let me explain. So here I have what things are a part of white supremacy culture. The one that we are doing right now by not boycotting would be right to comfort. You believe that your right to a comfort, like constantly eating Starbucks, is more important than boycotting those places to help people who are literally fucking dying.
There's different levels to white supremacy, and you don't have to be in a Ku Klux Klan outfit or saying the N-word for you to be upholding white supremacy and feeling like, oh, it's not directly happening to me, so I'm not gonna let go of this thing because it's taking away my comfort, my right to that thing. Now imagine if you didn't have a bed to sleep on, you haven't brushed your teeth or taken a shower for days. Imagine you haven't gone to school. Matter of fact, school has been the last thought in your fucking head. You don't know if you'll wake up to your fucking parents in the morning, or an orphan. You don't know if your family is alive. You don't know when your next meal will be. You don't know if a building will come falling on you while just existing. You don't know if you'll get shot in the head by just walking down the street. Now imagine. That sounds uncomfortable too, huh? Yeah. That sounds like every single human right has been stripped away from you, huh? And you're worried about not drinking Starbucks no more? Other places that you can boycott are Zara, Domino's, Subway, Netflix, Disney Plus, any Disney thing that includes Marvel. Any Marvel product, don't buy it. Coca-Cola. Yeah, those are the companies I can think off of my head. There's many other companies you can boycott. At least boycott 1 to 3. At least 1. Start with 1. And then do 3. It's insane to have to say that. Just because you are from a country does not mean you have to agree with everything that their government does. If this was something that, El Salvador, for example, that's where I'm from, El Salvador was doing to, I don't know, Mexico, I would not automatically side with El Salvador. I would do my research on the situation and see who it is that is in the wrong. And to the celebrities who aren't speaking out on it, and they can, have some fucking empathy, humanity, sympathy, and balls. Especially the POCs. A white person that, like I said before, come on now, what do we expect from the bitches? Unfortunately. And that's the sad truth. But as a POC, you directly know how it feels to be oppressed, for your people to constantly be seen as a fucking threat and be hurt by the system. And when you see that shit happening to another group of people, you don't say anything. But I bet if it was your country, you would be mad as fuck, speaking on it, hard as fuck. I didn't know money meant that your humanity disappears. It's crazy to me how people like Noah Schnapp still have a job, but people like, what's her name? The girl from Scream, get fucking fired for supporting Palestine. Be serious. be so serious. And shout out to Jenna Ortega. Shout out to Jenna Ortega for standing next to her girl, to Melissa, that's her name, to standing next to Melissa and dropping out of the fucking movie. And now Scream is asking them to come back, and they're saying, no, bitch, we're good. As they fucking should. And to the people in the movie industry, in the film industry, this is a great example, a great fucking example. The Hunger Games. If you love those movies, bitch, this is for you, bitch. You can sympathize with people from the fucking districts, but can't sympathize for the people from Palestine. You know the fucking creator of the Hunger Games got fucking inspiration of all the fucking monstrosities that the United States did to the Middle East. That's where she got her inspiration from. Do you know how fucking insane that is? If you can have sympathy for fake fucking characters that don't exist, then you can have sympathy for real people who are literally actually going through that. I saw a video where Israel was dropping little papers. I don't know what the fuck it said on there, but it says some shit like, it was basically them saying that they deserve what was happening to them. I remember the comments saying, this is like a scene straight out of Hunger Games. No, bitch. No. That scene from the Hunger Games was only created because the inspiration came from that shit happening from Middle Eastern countries. If you don't understand how bad the situation is, there's places, areas in Palestine where they have said that the smell of decaying bodies is so bad because there is no aid to the area. They're also not having any food, no water, nothing. A typical meal for a Palestinian person is bread and water. They don't even have hygiene products, y'all. Do you understand? That's not bearable. I cannot imagine waking up every morning and not going to shower, brushing my teeth, or washing my face. They don't have any. They don't even have one. Because they don't even have water. They don't even have water to drink. Let alone brushing their teeth, taking a shower, washing their face. I just could not imagine going on not just one day, but every single day like that. There was a video, oh my god. It was raining and the little kids were happy to drink the water that was raining. Because that's how much the lack of water there is. I saw this video of the horrors that they face that no one talks about, that is aside from the bombing and the dead bodies. Another thing that I saw was that there is so much dust in the air from the bombing that they are breathing that shit in. They're breathing it in. The dust, and that is probably bad for the respiratory systems too. They're breathing in dust and the odor of dead bodies. They also don't just smell the dead bodies. They see them. There's no aid. No people coming to clean up, nothing. Another thing is people with disabilities, they're not getting their proper care. Pregnant women are giving birth without anesthesia. They're giving birth without that shot they get in the back. They're giving birth without any or little to no medical help while giving birth. People with contacts, people with braces. But do you guys know Bisan? She has been reporting on this since it started. Reporters like Bisan risk their life every day reporting because obviously that's not something Israel would like to see. Reporting on the situation helps so much because it brings awareness to it and it makes more people see it. And I saw this video of this woman walking down the street with her daughter, but someone was recording and an Israel soldier was following behind them, but someone was recording and the soldier saw that. The soldier was following them, y'all. What the fuck was the soldier gonna do if that person wasn't recording? There's another video of Bisan. She was reporting on an area and all you hear in the back is bomb after bomb.
إلى فرض وطلب يا ساتر. الآن نحن في جنوب قطاع غزة مثلا وهذا القصف قريب من مجد. في خان يونس. كلما كنا عن قرب قادرين على طلب وقف إطلاق النار والهدنة في قطاع غزة.
By the way, the bombing never stops. It just keeps going. The only thing that changes is the bombing changes areas, but the bombing never stops. And there's this plane making a noise that keeps going around. I forgot the name. And when it comes around, Palestinian people sometimes don't know if it's just that plane making the noise, because it's there to put fear in their hearts, for them to think they're about to get bombed or get away from the area. They don't know if it's the bomb or that plane. There is even, Bisan has also reported that there is even an ongoing joke that the Palestinian people have, that they are a military expert on planes because they know the difference between that plane and a bomb. Oh my god, another thing, there's something called white phosphorus or whatever the fuck, but it's basically something that comes out of planes. They're dropping it on the Palestinian people because
it gives burns, and if you inhale it, of course it's gonna fuck up your respiratory system.
Their humanity is just being stripped for them. They're just not seen as human. For the news reporters who are reporting in Palestine, a lot of them have been killed. There's people saying it's collateral damage. It's not collateral damage when you are targeting a place and using the excuse as Hamas is there, knowing that you're gonna kill a bunch of people who are innocent and have absolutely nothing to do with Hamas. That's not collateral damage, bitch. That's you purposely killing people. Bombing a hospital, bombing a school, that is a war crime. Hamas is also not the only group that is kidnapping the other side's community. There was a boy who was kidnapped or in prison, I'm not sure which one. He was 13 and he was raped. And that's not just one situation, one time thing. A lot of people are getting raped, tortured, abused when they are being kidnapped or being held by the Israeli officers or soldiers, government, whatever.
I wanted to say that I am very aware that the people of Israel are also being kidnapped, and they also are being murdered and attacked, but there's a very clear disproportionate amount between the two. Palestinian people are dying way more than the Israeli people. There's a side that is clearly suffering more, and I do have empathy and feel bad for the people of Israel that have died too, but it's a matter of who is being dehumanized, who is being seen as less than human, being treated like less than human. It's clearly not the Israel people. The Israel people still have water, food, they still have electricity, they still have all those things, and they're not fleeing to other parts of Israel because one part is getting bombed, and even then that part that they are fleeing to still can get attacked and still is being attacked. So it's really the same thing as I said in my first video. Don't sit up here as someone who supports what Israel is doing and fucking tell me or any other person who supports Palestine that there is not a clear disproportionate rate of who is getting more murdered, and that there's not clearly one side that's suffering more and needs more support and help. You guys actively fucking choose to act fucking stupid.
There's people that are Islamophobic, that are trying to use this as an opportunity to be Islamophobic and call people who are Middle Eastern Palestinian terrorists. If you're from the United States and you for real think that, baby, for yourself. You cannot listen to everything put out by the United States government or the news articles from the United States. It's all propaganda. Free your mind. If you really want to talk about a terrorist, given the definition, the United States is living by that definition. It's like they looked at the definition and were like, yes, this is what I want to be when I grow up. Like I said before, the United States has destabilized so many countries, including Middle Eastern countries, so fucking much for what? Oil and gas? and other resources. But yeah, y'all have set up here and dragged out that Middle Easterns are the terrorists. No, baby. No, that's not the case. If your community was going through something like this and somebody created a resistance group and used the violence, the same violence that they're being faced with, against their oppressor, your people would be called terrorists too. Your people would be demonized too. And I'm not saying I agree with Hamas. I don't agree, because at the end of the day, innocent people are being hurt that is from Israel too. But I understand why they would want to react that way, but I really don't agree fully with what they're doing. They seem to be causing more harm to the people than they think they are, and now it's just being used as Israel's using that, took the chance to use that as an excuse to start this genocide on Palestine. Before I end the video, if you watch this video, or even a little bit of the video, after everything I have explained, and your ass is still gonna sit up here and not fucking speak on the situation, block me. Please block me. Block me, bitch. I don't want you in my life. I don't want to know about your existence. I just worry for people like that who could see shit like this happening and they don't speak out on it. I'm not that type of person. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. Be that type of person today, right now. I don't give a fuck, because when it's your people, if it was you would want someone to be that type of person. Just because something isn't directly fucking affecting you, it doesn't mean it's not happening. It doesn't mean people aren't fucking dying. You're so fucking out of touch. Jesus Christ. You feel so fucking privileged to your Starbucks, your fucking Subway, and your Zara clothes. That shit isn't even fucking cute. Fuck. The Palestinian people are doing us a favor. They're doing us a favor by us having to boycott for them. They're doing us a favor because our asses are getting on a fucking diet and stop eating fucking trash food that has been in that fucking restaurant for days and days and days and days. Touch grass. Go outside. Watch the news. Jesus fucking Christ. You bitches are so fucking out of touch. And that word bitches, I'm not just referring to women. I'm referring to everyone. Men, women, kids. You are so out of touch. You are privileged to say that. Privileged that you can ignore it. Privileged that you think you still have a fucking right to go to Starbucks. Fuck. Your mama clearly never beat your ass enough. And shit, I don't even fucking agree with hitting kids, but shit, you're making me want to beat the shit out of you. I'm not just talking about this situation. I'm talking about every situation that is happening. Oh, there's so much situations happening. How could you possibly fucking expect me to speak on them? Damn, bitch, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to speak on the ones you know of. And I can understand it can get stressful. Take a mental break when you need it. I understand. There is power in numbers. Starbucks has lost how much? It was like, I think 10 billion in the money they were making compared to before. And it was when they had the biggest sale of the fucking year. And they lost that much money. There is power in numbers. Don't think just because you're one person, you're not making an effect. And if you think, oh, if I post to my 50 followers, I'm not really doing anything because I'm not an influencer. No. If that post brought one person to be aware of that issue, that's the point. Even if it was just one person, that's the point. Because then that person is going to start posting about it too, or at least speaking about it to their co-workers, to their parents, to their family members, to their friends. Then at least one person from there. And do you get what I'm saying? It's going to be a domino effect, and it's going to keep going, and the numbers are going to grow to the celebrities, to the influencers, and the regular people. Get some balls. Touch grass. Stop choosing to be ignorant, because that's what you're doing. No one in the history of humanity has ever had the amount of access to information as we do now. So in this time where we have this much access to information, if you are still ignorant and uneducated, you are choosing it. Google is free. Pick up a book. You're not a fucking child. And even if you are a child, I have seen kids more educated than grown adults. You have no excuse. Grow up. Mature. Stop being a dumb bitch by choice. I hope you enjoyed, and if you didn't, block me. That's it, y'all.